Hello and welcome to Data Planet. I'm Emma Davis, and today's guest is Francois Gau, founder and CEO of GrowthHive. Welcome to the show, Francois.
Well, thank you, Emma, for having us here. This is a pleasure. We've had conversations in the past, and I'm looking forward to this one. Thank you.
Yeah, likewise, likewise. All right, so let's start with a little introduction to who you are, Francois, and who GrowthHive is.
Okay, who am I? Francois Gau. Go. Sorry, the way it's pronounced over there. Almost forgot about it. It's funny. And we just talked about it just before getting on the show. So that's kind
Yeah,
of
uh,
interesting. I might
yeah.
mistake myself.
I
Anyway,
know. I
so
was sure it was Gao. I'm sorry for the decades of you being just beaten down by American pronunciation of your name, but thank you for your patience.
that's okay. I'm getting we can talk about different things. One thing that's important is I grew up in southern France, and aerospace is my passion, my background. You can see it everywhere. I'm 30 years at Honeywell and Kennametal Aerospace and Defense. About 7, 8 years ago, um, luck would have it that I had to go find a new job, and my people said, "You're an idiot, so you should create your own company." And I did, and I started consulting and really having fun with it and helping companies mid-size grow. And then one thing or another, they wanted to do marketing, so I partnered with a marketing firm, and I ended up buying one. So
Mm,
that's my background. And
okay.
Growth Hive is technically we're a business development agency. Um, a lot of what we do is planning, strategy work with the clients, understanding where do you want to go. It's more than marketing. It's looking at operations, product portfolios, customers, you name it, and looking at the territory from ground zero all the way to what do you want to be when you grow up. And sometimes you want to climb a hill, sometimes you want to penetrate a new ocean. So these are the things we do. um, then we have a pretty good team on the act part, which is the marketing creation, content calendars, you name it, all the things, all the way to social posts and websites and AI now.
Uh-huh.
And then the last bit, which emerged out of COVID really, is we're helping our customers win, because the realization that they creating a lead is relatively easy, that everybody can do that. Winning it is a little. So dynamics have changed, demographics, and people are looking at things, but not necessarily filling a form or placing a call. Actually, many of them don't even know what a telephone looks like. So we have kind of evolved our brand to a business development agency, from planning very strategically to acting, with great passion, and winning with there is no stones unturned. So that's what Growth Hive is, plan, act, win. And we've been growing, every year since I started pretty much.
Amazing. And so we're going to talk about this like CEO to CEO,
Okay.
two main topics today.
Hmm.
Just in case there are listeners here who are, coming in because they're friends of Francois and not yet friends of Emma at Working Planet. I am CEO of a paid digital firm called Working Planet, and we have since 2003 been helping businesses understand the impact of their paid digital investments. What's driving incremental value? What should they actually be spending on? How should they adjust strategy, messaging, targeting, bidding, all of the different levers that we have at our disposal in paid digital to make sure that it's actually driving the outcomes that they care about. So, um, you and I met, wildly different backgrounds, but fairly similar interests in terms of wanting to do work that drives actual real value and wins for our clients, and not so much of an interest being, a marketing agency that churns out content or, well, I got you a lot of impressions. Like, who cares? Unless it's actually, you know, producing business outcomes, it doesn't really matter. Um, so from CEO to CEO, our two main topics today are really the future of agencies and then getting into what makes a bad fit client. So let's start with the future of agencies. We're hearing left, right, and center, everything's being automated. I've had prospects flat out tell me, well, I hear agencies are getting fired all over the place, so we're not really sure that we want to invest in agencies at this point, which I think speaks more to what their experience with other agencies looks like than the agency value overall. So my question to you, from your perspective, what survives if execution, or I should say, as execution becomes increasingly automated?
Well, it is automated, so there's no doubt about it. It's upon us. It's been there for 2-ish years. So it's not a question if, it's a question of now what. If I may, just
How dare
redirect.
you? How dare you? No.
I'm sure you will. So here's my take on this. Agency being fired, maybe, if you do not deliver perceived value. Okay, so I've had some really, really good luck with, first of all, I may disclose something that's important to me. We're industrial based marketing. That's what we do. B2B, deep entrenched. I don't know if you can see anything behind me, but there are kind of bolts and nuts and things that are quite unsexy. So, but the good news about this is it's harder to market something in B2B that's precision manufacturing, that's precision fitting valve, whatever it is that our customers do. If the conversation starts with show me the money, show me the returns, I need to see exactly what I get for my dollar spent into your company, I would say this is not a good starting point. Okay. It's proven to me over the years that those kinds of opening statements, very commander style, and others are do it my way. We've been doing this forever. It's approved. Do not change the copy. I control everything. So I'm going to put the onus of the future of marketing on who we accept as a client.
Okay.
That's a kind of different twist on things. Okay. And I am starting to realize this is really important to our future. Because if you have a bad foot and a bad relationship and a bad understanding on what is what and what's you going to get for it, it's conflictual, it's anonymous, it's just not good. And then you're spinning your wheels like no other. I spend weekends, nights fixing stuff for customer, thinking, hoping perhaps it's going to fix it.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Yeah.
It went worse to even some, not very good conversations. So let's pretend that was a $2,000 deal and it cost me 20. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that's going to put agency at a disadvantage. It's not new. It's been out there for a while. I just got a quote from an unsolicited, one of those mail that comes into your inbox, spamming thingy, but not spam. And the company was pitching me for a website for $899. I almost kind of wanted to go for it.
Just to see what happens.
Just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Right? What you get for that. So to me, the future of agencies, and I really revere the podcast, and I'll have to find it and send it to you so you can add it to this later. Where that gentleman was talking about the future of agencies and put it in perspective for me and my board. Okay. Authenticity, empathy, real, And something we're very proud of, and we started that journey absolutely non-negotiable. I
Mm-hmm.
have a account management style. So in my company, you talk to the same people over and over and over. You have a single point of contact. They should understand the company over time as well as possible, not exactly 100% as you. The other thing is we're very specific into what we do. We're industrial because we're engineers. We're aerospace guys. We're energy guys.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go to a customer, oh, you guys speak our language.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening and you're a CEO out there and you're wondering what's cooking out there, the main ingredient I'm going to tell you from those podcasts and all the research I've done is specialize. Be really, really good at what you do. And do not take bad relationships or bad clients. That's what we're going to talk next, actually, in
Yeah.
your next
Getting ahead
question,
of
Emma.
us, Francois.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll keep
yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, we can come back because I do want to talk about AI and hype
Mhm.
a little bit more, but you've already touched a little bit on this. So let's just go straight into bad fit clients. You talked about um, already clients who are come in with sort of an authoritative perspective, sort of clinging to ownership of details that maybe are not helpful to have them cling to. What else? Maybe not open to being told they're wrong about something or being told that something else would be better than what their idea is. What else comes to mind as a bad fit client? Because I have a couple, including ones where the revenue was really, really tempting, but it was just like I can already tell where this is headed. And what are some of those red flags for you?
Yeah, so I'm going to be a bit damaging as usual when I speak. Um, I've done 30 years of corporate, um, jobs. Being at large company, being in the headquarters, being driving big projects and whatnot. And you will understand exactly what I say, is the natural form of this organism is to require committees of subcommittees that make decisions eventually in the next 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
So being commander style, you can spot that very quickly. Okay. That is next. My first discovery call, usually I can say, this is not going to go good.
Mm-hmm.
Next is misalignment of objectives and not understanding. And I thought you was hiring me as a marketing agent and a strategist and an executioner for the campaigns and a deliverer of package leads. But you just want me to do this instead,
Mm-hmm.
which is not what we have in mind. And that derailed many relationships in the past just by being that consistent was your scope and your intention and the understanding of that. That's harder to diagnose at first. It's hard to find the predictors of
Mm-hmm.
that. But
Mm-hmm.
once you get into it, you will find out really quickly if you're in for the ride or
Yeah.
you. One of my boss in the past told me something one day, one evening. We were at a convention, and they say, "Look, if the marketing, the CMO, or our case, an agency leader doesn't have a seat at the table, it's hard."
Mm-hmm.
So that's the second part again in disguised form. If you don't have a seat at the table, if your opinion does not matter, if you've been overruled all the time by some people hide behind details,
Mm-hmm.
other will hide behind inaction. Those the second part is really hard. The
Mm-hmm.
third thing is very somewhat predictable. Okay. But I once worked for a division of a multinational near my house, like literally a mile away from my house.
Mm-hmm.
And really had good connection with those people. We were working fantastic locally, but there was dependent of this global large multinational that was dictating everything.
Mm.
And it ended up into a somewhat of a conflictual relationship here, where I tried to help the local division beyond what I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost. So the cavalry was not enough against the
Mm-hmm.
bombers. So it's right. Corporate relationship and corporate influence can be very damaging. And
Mm-hmm.
the attitude, I remember working in it. I was there for many, many years. It's like, it's hard to find someone that's going to make a decision quick. So you drag on and you drag on and you spend your tail trying to explain why you spoke about this 3 months ago, but nothing has been done. It's
Yeah.
not my fault, but it
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way you see it. So your relationship with slow decision making as an agency in today's environment is a sure production of losing margins and losing your sanity. So I'm looking for those three factors, maybe a partnership, a seat at the table, and some degree of freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. I think two of the sort of red flags that came up for me recently, I was talking with someone who, had they become a client, would have been one of our biggest clients.
Mm.
But they said, we will not pay an agency more than this percentage of our ad spend, and we will cap the total amount we're paying. We won't pay in total more than this amount per month. And I said, but what if that agency is making you exceed your goals, even taking out how much you're paying them as, as actual marketing costs? What if you're getting, far beyond where you thought you could grow? That's still not worth it to you. It's like the same mentality as, companies that cap their sales team's commission after a certain point. And it's like, well, why would they continue selling beyond that point then? Why not just set it up? But just this mentality of that to me reflected, here's our perception of agencies. What you do, the value you provide is capped at a certain level. The value you provide is only so much, and it's just not worth it to us because you're an agency, as opposed to it having anything to do with, if you can continue to grow our business and, we're seeing those numbers and we're confident in that and we're happy in the relationship and you're proving out your value over time, we should all benefit from that. And so that to me was just an immediate red flag about this partnership is going to be tough. And ultimately didn't proceed. And then the other one is someone looking for either a guarantee of results or a guarantee of results in a specific time frame. It's one of two. They're either kicking tires in a specific time frame. I want to try this for 3 months and see what happens. And it's like, no, you've come to the wrong place, because just getting things set up, you're not operating in a time scale where you'll know after 3 months. So that's just no. Or can you just guarantee me that you can increase our revenue by X% over this, by the end of the year? I'm like, I have no control over what you do with your website, what you do with your prices, what your sales team's doing. So that would be, it's not that I don't think we can, but I absolutely can't guarantee that for you, because it wouldn't be scientific. Like, that wouldn't be a reason. It could be an empty promise despite our best efforts, and it's just not realistic. So
I bumped into the same scenarios very often, where the head of sales wants to see a direct return. The head of finance says, what's your ROI? And maybe we can jump into that, because that's a part of a conversation that I'd like to have in terms of um, merging revenue streams with marketing activities. The false promise that is in that even that sentence. For those of us that have been in statistics classes and understand numbers, this is called probabilities. The people I deal with, they ask for it, but they don't know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
They do ask for, I want to see and I did ask the same thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in corporate, because I went to my CFO and I said, I need another 100,000 to get that campaign doubled.
Mm-hmm.
He says, well, show me what you've done with the X thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars I gave you before. And I'm sitting like a lame duck right there, because there's nothing I can do to prove them right. They don't understand statistics. They don't. They just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've tried it so many times. You can buy some very sophisticated software that's going to try to peel the onion down to its essence. At the end, you don't even know what makes what.
Mm-hmm.
It's 0.2% of that social post, and 3.6% of that email, and 6.3% of that blog. Oh, they watch a video too, had a couple percent
With a margin of error of 50%.
or
It's like,
more.
so it could all be, it's random based on those
And
numbers. Yeah.
that's kind of, I love it when they ask those questions, because I say, all right, okay, I see where you're going with this. And let me say, I'm not going to answer it, but, or end, let me walk you through the very simple two bookends. Okay. To make that work, like you said, I don't have control on your sales operations, so I can help, making sure that you don't sit in leads for 38 days, that your sales folks are involved in the definitions of the campaign, that they're participant and understand that they may have a higher return if they pitch these things. It's a joint relationship. It's being at the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
The promise of market. Okay, now on the very end of the bookends, you have some of us, me included at times, being absolutely enamored with vanity metrics. That's what I call them, right? So that clicks and opens. Yeah, we're going great and we're doing fine. Everything's good. Now the rubber is in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
right? When it hit the roads. I found it interesting that I can actually help fulfill that equation to a degree, not to 99%. But let's agree on something we can agree on, okay? Your sales folks don't know anything about those new clients of yours, right? Nothing. They've never heard of them. They just saw the invoice coming over and they got credit on their territory because, well, they did nothing, but they got the money. Yeah? And those guys spend, I don't know, hours researching your website. They open massive amount of social and emails and whatnot. They had tons of activity on your marketing. So let's pretend for a second. Pretend, Mr. I want to know. Okay. Let's pretend for a second that you would agree that if your sales guys have never heard of them, never touched, never talked to them, but they made an order and marketing was more than X activities, then I will take the credit for this.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's agree that will be the basis of the ROI.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do this, the people start to realize that that first question was impossible to answer. But the second one directionally should make sense. If over time you can show that you've created new customers and value, that's what matters. The rest is somewhat irrelevant to me. The clicks and what would they call it, CTR, CPCs, and all that sort of jazzy thing. I don't care. I mean, show me the money.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of how I built my company way back when. Because being at the seat at the table, you got to want to make marketing and sales count.
Mm-hmm.
That's our vision for GrowthHive. Simple, 5 words: make sales and marketing count. And that's our marching orders. And we that's what we aim to do.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that, you need to have a proof system, and a proof system is by definition impossible. So then I came up with that little idea, and it seems to work.
Yeah. At the risk of ending the episode with this mostly being us complaining about clients or prospects that we don't like, I'd like to take a minute and think about your favorite clients, the ones you think are, man, I just love working with these guys. They're the ideal client. I feel like I can have the greatest impact on their business, and that, we're totally aligned. Like, what are those green flags? What does it sound like? Or what does it look like? If you could clone them again or give, Claude instruction on finding you those clients again, what is it that you like about working with them?
Well, somewhere there is a gel, a bond. Something happened that we had a great conversation and everything clicked. So in the first, I mean, this is hard to do, but I've been coached for many years, and I'm blessed with that, where you can put people in certain categories fast. So I'm a natural entertainer, somebody that speaks with the hand, that visualize the future. And if I find somebody that responds to that, golden.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a brand, is similar, but it's difficult to express. As a brand, it needs to attract. I mean, yeah, I can do work for food and beverage, and I've
Mm-hmm.
done some of that, but I'm a manufacturing guy.
Yeah.
So the alignment is when I was in aerospace and I was in Honeywell, and I was responsible partly and for a minute portion of business aviation. I was a pilot. So we naturally had things to talk about beyond Honeywell. Okay. So common interests, belief in the product of your customers and the methods of production of those products and the methods of selling. It's aligned. Everything's the stars out there. Is it perfect? No. Can it be improved? Yes. Do we want to change something? That's the question. If we want to change something, then it's a better relationship.
Yep. Yeah.
If we're looking at just numbers, frankly, folks, if you listen to this, I want to have 30% market share. I want to be the top participant in my sector. I want to do 50% margins. I want to be top. Those are results. They're not strategies. So to me, when I have somebody in front of me that can talk strategy, express clearly where he or she wants to go, what's the job to be done? What's the expectation? And if I can find that we have a burning platform, really, somebody that's really interested in making it happen. And 2, we can have some freedom of action and provide what we do best, which is counsel. Then that is magic. So in my head, I'm flashing few names right now from my days at